the second part of our Think You Know SAP Concur Think Again podcast, Antony Elliott, Senior Director of Strategic Accounts EMEA, will once again be discussing the extra benefits SAP Concur can bring to your business and how easy it is to implement. Antony, tell me a little bit more about your role and why SAP Concur is different.
Hi, thanks, Naomi. So in my role today at SAP Concur, I look after our largest and most strategic partners. These are typically global organizations operating in all regions around the world and often in 50, 60, 70 different countries. And the common thread amongst all of them is that they're looking for a single platform that can solve all of their travel and expense end-to-end processes, and also the wider piece that we look after. And I think that kind of answers why we're different to everyone else as well, because we are that single point of entry for anyone wanting to take on anything to do with travel and expenses. And again, because we have our open platform, we're able to have a large network of over 250 partners that support us and are able to give added benefits to our clients.
Why would you encourage customers to use SAP Concur to book travel over going directly to a supplier? What benefits does it bring when most companies look for the best price?
So I've spent a lot of time in the travel industry, and this is always a contentious point. You've got global travel managers which are trying to ensure they've negotiated the best rates, be it at hotels or airlines, for their companies, right? To save the company money, we're going to negotiate, take our buying power, and get a really good rate. Then they want to say, well, the best way for you to get access to those rates and for me to ensure that you're booking through the policy that I want you to book through is for you to do that through my prescribed channels, be that an online booking tool or offline for the more complex bookings, normally a travel management company. So that's still, for many people, the window and the world they want to view and make their bookings from. And we are not against that. It has to be, a travel policy has to be right for the company, for their culture, and for what it is that they're trying to achieve. And we can support that either through the Concur online booking tool, which is unique because it's a really true global and in fact the only agnostic online booking tool left in the world. We do not mind what content you use, and in the travel world, content is king. How do you make sure when your users are going onto an online booking tool, they're seeing all the options available to them? Because if we all know as travelers ourselves, if you know you're going to an area that you know fairly well, you travel there a lot, and you don't see the airline route that you normally take, you don't see the hotel that you know is around the corner from the office that you want to stay in, you're going to probably disengage with that travel tool and that policy and that process and go to a direct channel to go and book that. Well, travel managers don't want that, because then you're not seeing all the options. We're agnostic as to what you choose from a content point of view. So that means we can put in all the different sources of content. We can make sure that your travelers can see all of that. And in terms of the policy and the way that you want those shown to give your travelers the best advice on travel, we can deliver that for you in a very easily consumable format. So it means that the traveler is now making an informed choice, and with the term that's used in travel, with visual guilt, normally a better priced choice for the organization. But that's still not going to work 100% of the time. You've still got rogue sales guys like myself who think they know everything and they're going to do something elsewhere. And again, that's where our TripLink solution comes in with the TripIt app, which is this travel itinerary app, because we can suck in all the data from those sources as well, be it someone's gone direct to a supplier, or we've just taken the itinerary and we've automatically read and understood all the digitization on that itinerary. We can suck that data in. And that means for a travel manager, one, you've got a full data set, whereas before you never used to get that. So you can see who's booked how. Have they gone to a direct website? Have they gone via an online booking tool? And it doesn't have to just be the Concur online booking tool. It can be any of the online booking tools. Have they gone via a travel management company and booked via that route? Concur becomes a single source of truth for all that travel data. And that means that the travel manager can then make informed decisions, can decide if they want to enforce policy, or in fact adapt their policy for the way that their users are entering into their travel program.
Staying on the topic of travel, how do you see the future of travel? What are the things the companies should be looking at, and how can SAP Concur help?
We're living in unique and challenging times at the moment. As travel is starting to try and get its feet back on the road, it's a very challenging environment for them. We've trying to help and support the travel suppliers and the corporates on the other side. I know there's a lot of people with better knowledge than myself and experience that are out there giving the industry advice on how to build a travel policy for the future. Have you got trust from your travelers that they can travel at this moment? Have you as a company got trust and faith that you're not putting them in harm's way? If they're visiting a client, right, is the client happy for them to visit and have that trust and faith in the process? And then, of course, all the government regulations on top of that. It's a very complex time. Travel managers are dealing with that. They're trying to build up the policies and processes for the future. How can we help that? Well, we're still the entry point for a lot of people as soon as they start to think about travel. And because of that, we can help guide them through whatever process that company wants them to go through. From the moment they log on to Concur Travel, they pick up their app, they start trying to make a booking, we can guide them through maybe an approval process that you've got, depending on what country they want to travel to or the type of trip they want to take. We can inform them as they're making that booking, hey, this is your new policy. You've got to make sure these things are cleared off first, or that you're doing what's right for you to be safe as an employee as you travel. That's really key. And I think that's probably the best way we can help, as well as be working with all of the suppliers to make sure we're getting the best live, real-time availability and data as to what they're able to offer out from a content point of view. And that's typically kind of the front end of where we're able to give that most information. But if we've got that data set, which I spoke about one of the previous questions of where your travelers are booking because they're booking through Concur, or we're taking it from our TripLink solution. We've got their expense information. We've also got our Drive module. And a lot of companies and a lot of people now, especially in domestic travel environments, will be thinking, you know what, the safest way for me to travel is actually as a private individual in my car. Not great for the environment, but it's safer for them. Well, the Concur Drive app allows us to track their route that they've taken. So it means the mileage is accurate and actionable, and they've got nothing to do again. Expense report that writes itself. That's what it's all about. But we've also got those data points. So again, if there is a reason that you need to say, look, we need to know where people were because we've had someone who's unfortunately infected with the virus in this office, well, you can now, using the locate solution, go, I know all the employees that are based out of that office. I know the employees that were traveling to that office, be it via traditional routes or via car to that office if they're using our solutions. So we start to give the corporate actually a lot of data to say, hey, we can help you action on that data as you need to meet the requirements of helping everyone get through the pandemic at these times, as well as obviously the heightened risk and security requirements and compliance. And those are just some of the ways, right? So TripLink, travel, entry points. Think I need to do something? Go into Concur. We can build it to match your policy and the way that you do that. And then when people are out on the road, we're collecting all that data as well, be that through Drive, the technology of taking pictures of your apps, etc., of the receipts through the app. We can take all of that data in. We can present it back to you in an easy way to analyze through the solutions that we've got and say, hey, I need to know what these people have done. Where were they? Are they active? Do I need to worry about them? And everyone's working from home now. How do you stay in contact with them? Well, again, Concur messaging through the locate solution allows people to do that easily.
So Concur offers so much more than I ever thought a software solution could. Is there anything that we offer that no one else does?
I think there's lots of things that we offer that at the moment no one in the industry from our competitors can really directly challenge. And there's probably a few key points. So the first would be a true end-to-end platform for all discretionary spend. So again, you start to make a booking in travel, that goes into expenses. Not all the competitors have a fully integrated and native, which is important, right? Travel and expense solution that talk to each other instantly. Everything flows through. And then you go into the other services that we've got around the side, be it our first, second level support, audit. No other provider offers a way to actually audit those expenses that are coming in and the data that's coming in to make sure it's compliant, not just with your policy, but again, with government tax regulations that you need to adhere to. I don't think anyone's got that. So it's the unique end-to-end approach. It's our services that wrap around that. And then the real kind of jewel in our crown is our partner network. We've got over 250 partners that have integrated with Concur. Why have they done that and how have they done that? Well, a lot of organizations and companies out there realize, hey, Concur's got this fantastic set of data. It is a way that most corporates are using to support their travelers out in the field. I want to be part of that ecosystem. So be that Uber, right? Uber that have got a direct connect with Concur. So if you make an Uber journey and you've linked your Uber business account with your Concur account, all of that data flows through. Again, we know where that person was. We know what route they took. All that data automatically transfers into Concur for that individual user inside the system. But then there's lots of other areas we touch with our app partners. So we've got the travel, we've got the risk and compliance, we've got organizations like Oversight or AppZen, which work inside Concur to say, are you exposing yourself to any risk from a government compliance point of view? Again, we've got all that data. We know, who you've taken out, where you've taken them to, how much you spent per person. Is that in compliance with a government regulation? We've got industry specific solutions. So in the pharmaceutical industry, there's a lot of rules and regulations that are applied to how they entertain during the sales process. We've got partners that provide that data on healthcare partners, and all of that integrates directly into Concur. And they've all done that because Concur is an open platform. Any developer can go to our website and they can go and look at our open API schematics, and they can develop a way of integrating with our API and go through an accreditation process and say, hey, we want to be part of the Concur network and family. We're going to add value not only to Concur and ourselves, but more importantly to our mutual clients. We want to work and partner with you. Take the data. That's what a lot of the VAT reclaiming companies do. We host all that data. We've got all the digital receipts. So they integrate with Concur. They take downloads of that data on behalf of the client, run it through their own solutions, all automated, all optimized. The client has to got to do anything. And that means clients are getting fantastic value. Concur is a gateway in, not just only to the discretionary spend solution, but also to the solutions that over 250 app partners give them in ways that you'd never thought of before. And those really are our crown jewels.
So it's a full ecosystem then available to anyone, customers and people who feel that they could partner. Is there anything that really stands out for you in the ecosystem as very unique?
I think it's just the breadth and depth of that ecosystem. And again, there's no harking back to that open API. We're an open platform. We're an agnostic platform. We're not going to say, hey, we believe this is the best travel provider in the world. We believe this is going to give you all the content you're ever going to need, because that's just not the reality out there in the real world that we all live and breathe. So it really is nowadays, there's two key things here. It's about having a breadth of content. So you're making sure you're getting information and data from as many sources as possible. And then there's the depth of that content and making sure that content has got all the information and details you need to enable a company or a user to make the right decisions or get the right results. And by having over those 250 partners in different spheres, working with different ERP vendors, working with different travel vendors in a direct environment, or ground transport providers, rail organizations, working with organizations that try and help users on the road traveling to different countries change their mobile phone tariff, right? Something quite innocuous like that can help a company save thousands. We cannot, with our developers, and we've got over 800 people in our R&D team alone. We can't come up, even with that large organization, all the solutions that we need to. We're not going to have that innovative idea. There's going to be the new challenger, the new disruptor in the market. Airbnb, part of the Concur app network. Uber, like I mentioned earlier, part of the Concur app network. There's going to be these new organizations that come up that start to offer a unique solution throughout that journey of an expense claim that interacts with discretionary spend. We can't keep on top of that. That's why we've got an open platform. You come to us, you write to us, you tell us how you're going to help and support our clients and our mutual clients. We'll help you on that journey, and we'll help you on that road. And it's that unique viewpoint that we've got into the industry and to how to support all the disparate parts. That's what means that we're always constantly creating values for our companies. It's not just about a one-time implementation. It's not just about a one-time, hey, your expenses, rather than being an Excel spreadsheet or on a pretty app. Actually, let's look at what you're trying to achieve every year with your discretionary spend. Let's work with you, because we're always coming up with new solutions, and more importantly, the world is always coming up with new solutions, and we're integrating those, and we're able to support you on that journey.
So do you think there's anything else our listeners should know about SAP Concur? Any fun facts or a missing piece that we haven't covered yet?
Fun facts: we've got expense claims from the International Space Station, as we support NASA as their expense claim provider, and we have oddly received an expense claim from the International Space Station. I'm not sure what you could expense from up there, maybe a last minute coffee, I don't know. I think that's probably the funniest fact that I've found since I've worked here, and I enjoy regaling organizations with. I simply think if we can solve that problem, there's not a lot we can't solve, right? That shows our dedication to work with our organizations, right, and come up with innovative solutions. The one bit of advice I would give any organization is, don't just look at Concur and think of it as taking your old process and putting it into the cloud. That is not what Concur is about. If that's what you want to do, is take your old Excel spreadsheets or the old on-premise solution you were doing in the old way that you were doing it and putting it into the cloud in a pretty format, well, look, there are competitors out there which are cheaper, which can do that, right? That is kind of the first stage of simplification and optimization. If you're looking for an organization that is really going to drive value, that is going to be able to support you throughout your journey as an organization, as you scale and grow, or as you face new challenges in the world from that scaling. And we're all impacted by new challenges that come into the world all the time, right? This last year has shown us that more dramatically than ever. Well, that's why you use Concur. We've got the breadth of a platform. It's an open network, and we're able to support you throughout that life cycle as an organization. And that's why you should look at Concur. That's the value we're going to bring to you, not just putting a spreadsheet into the cloud. And look, if you're starting your Concur journey, now's the time to redesign the landscape, right? Work out what's right for your users. Work out what's right for you as a business. Use that time now that you're looking at Concur as an opportunity to develop the solution for the future that's going to give you the best return on your investment for you and your employees. Put the employees at the center of your thinking. If you get that right, most other things will start to fall into place. That's really my advice for organizations as they're kind of tackling what to do.
Thank you once again, Antony, for participating in this podcast series. I found it very insightful to learn how much more SAP Concur can offer to its customers, and it just proves why we are so much more than a travel booking tool.